Hi Gemini, welcome to your reconciliation reading for October 11th through November 10th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, as well as the recommend a reader shout out, which goes to Tarot Faith Keeper. Love and support to her. Check her out. Show her some love and support yourself if you like what she has to say. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it may resonate in other areas of your life. Nine of Cups was going to jump. All of a sudden I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so pardon if there's a shriek or something. All right, what else for Gemini for reconciliation here? This is assuming that your person wants it. And it started off being like, yeah, okay, this is a mutually agreed upon thing, but there's been a few that I'm like, I don't think this is a good idea. I know your person wants it, but look at why. So this is just assuming that the person wants it and taking a look at that and whether or not you decide it's beneficial for you. All right, Gemini. The reconciliation. Let's see. All right. Eight of Swords. Okay. Nine of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, the Magician, the Knight of Wands, Emperor, the Sun card. That could be Leo. This could be Leo, Aries, Gemini, Virgo. Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. That could be Scorpio. All right, let me get my little guys here. Move these over there. Okay. Oopsie. Hi. Okay, so all right, well, we got 8, 9, 10. Look at that. 3 and 4. 2 Knights. So this is someone that gets it now, and they are wanting to bring more intimacy into the connection. So perhaps that was not there before. This is someone that is sorry, and they want... Well, I think they want to be more responsible and more attentive. Honestly, I think this is someone that just wants to be a better partner. They get it now. That's been coming up a lot. As someone's like, "Whoa, gosh, I was almost out there too long. I get it. I don't want this. I'm sorry. Please let me back." Right? What's his Nine of Swords? His Nine of Swords. I think this is someone that very clearly understands, okay, I get it now. I know what it takes to be communal, to be a contributing person in this relationship. But why is that? Had some time to think. All right, so we got Nine of Swords and the Strength card. That could be Leo. What's this Magician about? 8 of Wands. All right. What's this Emperor about? Okay, so whatever you need to do, that you're staying out of this until they approach you. That much is clear here. It's like that, and it feels like you need to stand down. Like this is not about you approaching them. This is about you letting them kind of work out whatever they need to work out and figure it out on their own, because you've said your piece. This is about you going, you know what, it's very simple. This is how it should be in our relationship, and it's not, and you need to sort a few things, and that's that. It's not, there's not even any negotiation. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. Emperor and Emperor. There's not even any negotiation here. This really is about someone kind of sorting their business and being able to be a contributing reciprocal partner in a relationship, because otherwise it's just a ministry or a charity. It's a parent-child relationship. What's this? Nine of Pentacles. Okay, that jumped. What's that? Nine of Pentacles. Two of Swords. High Priestess. Interesting. Yeah, this is okay. So this is someone that is like, I want the stability and I want that back, and I want to do the right thing, and I know I dropped the ball and I was neglectful and I was not a good partner. I kind of just really took you for granted and kind of forgot about you, and I know that I relied on you too much, and I need to sort my business so that it can be on equal footing. It's not all about you taking care of me and making everything okay for me. It could be, though, too, that this person needed to see that they could kind of adult and live life on their own. They needed to know all that you did, and they needed to know that they could do that for themselves. And so when, coming back to a relationship and wanting to join with someone that's already doing that for themselves, or that you did that, it's almost like, okay, I have a new respect for how it was. I have a new respect for all that you did for us and for me. And this is someone that it's almost like they see that there is absolutely no lost ground with you, and you moving on and you progressing and moving forward. And it's not that gets under their craw and they're like, well, wait a second, you don't even miss me. No, it's not about that. It's just that, they want in on that. They want to be a part of that. You are someone that makes things happen, particularly for them, but you're a sure thing. You're a good bet. You're a good investment. And I know, I know this sounds really bad, but this is someone that's like, whoa, hey, that person's going places. That person's going to make life happen. I want to be a part of that. And so there's this scramble, this realization, really. I don't know about scrambling, but there's this realization that, oh, hey, I want some of that too. So I don't know. I mean, your dynamic, but I don't know. I feel like this person is just like, I was a doofus. I'm an idiot. That Gemini is going to be something, and I want to be a part of that. Like, I want to, that's something that, yeah, it might be really dynamic and busy and hectic, but it's on solid footing, and we could really be something in 10 years or something like that. So it's not that, lots of cards. It's not that, I don't know, it's the damnedest thing. It's not that it's desperate. It's just somebody kind of coming to their senses and being like, don't be stupid. Someone kind of realizing a few things. Like, okay, I've been kind of an idiot. Like, I kind of took things for granted, and I need to get my business together and be a better partner, because that Gemini's going places, and I want to be right there by their side. It's not the most romantic. We got the Knight of Cups here. Not the most romantic, but they're taking a rather realistic approach to this. What's this Magician about? What's this Magician? The Moon card. Okay, what's this Knight of Cups about? This Knight of Cups. Hermit. All roads lead back to you. So this is someone that's kind of been unto themselves, and they're kind of trying to sort their life, but all roads lead back to you. Like, they keep feeling like, you know what, if I were with this person, it's almost like they feel like we're better together than we are alone. Like, we're stronger together than we are apart. So there must be something that maybe you provide the practical side of it, and they're just like, yeah, let's do this. And, they're the kind of avant-garde, carefree, up for any kind of adventure, and a really great road partner. But I think this is someone that feels like, you know what, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, and all roads lead back to you. I want to be a part of your future plans because I really think we would do well together. Again, not the most romantic, but it is, it's a practical approach, but the backstory, what they might not be telling you, though, is that they do realize, whoa, hey, it's a lot of work what Gemini did for me, for us. It's a lot of work to adult into life, to kind of be the master of my own ship. That was really hard, and I asked them to do that for me also, to champion the relationship. And they also had their own life to live, and I really dropped the ball. You are going to move on and go places with or without them. And I think they see that and they definitely want to be a part of that. They don't want to miss out. You made things happen. You were a lot of fun, and you're a mover and a shaker and a doer, and you're solid, and they want a part of that. What's this Knight of Wands about? Star card. So this is Leo, that's Aquarius, also boobies. Boobies. All right. What's this Sun card? This Sun card. The Hierophant. So we got Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. Hold on a minute. What's this 10 of Wands? 10 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Hi. 7 of Wands. Huh. So this is somewhat, basically it's like, will you just give me a chance? Will you just let me get my foot in the door? Because here you are walking along doing fine with or without them, and they see that and they're like, I don't want to get left behind. I wasn't ready then, but I want to show you that I'm ready now. And while I don't want to have it to be about, you know, it's almost like, can we just be together and see where it goes instead of having a timeline? Because in their mind, it's one of the drawbacks. It's like, you know what, I just want to be with you and I want to do that, but I don't necessarily want to have it to be for an end result. Like, you know, wanting to get married by next summer, or look at that, married by next summer. Okay. But just wanting to see where it goes without, there's some kind of element of pressure. And while they're like, okay, here's the thing, here's what I realized while I was on my own. I want this, I want you, I want this to work, but I don't want it to be for an end result. I just want to be in your life, and I just want us to do the things, and I want it to be about us. I don't want it to be about having our life appear a certain way on social media, and we're doing all the things, but we're not connected. I want to get back to where it's you and I first, and then we go and do the things, but it's because we wanted to, not because it would make a cool post or whatever. There's something about how they don't want this to be about how the relationship appears or all this outside pressure to go and do. It's that they want just you and just them, and whatever you do whatever you do together as a couple, they want it to be what you two decide to do and are doing it because you both want to. It's almost like that the relationship was really crowded with other people's opinions and family and a lot of like outside, and it was like your natural propensity to manage that, you know, is just basically, we're going to go do here and then we have to do this and that, whatever. And somewhere along the way, it's almost like they just kind of were like, okay, yeah, whatever, just tell me when to show up. And it got to be like they were just there in name or visual only. It wasn't really a connection anymore. There was the disconnect, and then they're like, you know what, okay, parsing everything out. I really want to be with Gemini, but I don't want all the other agenda and outside stuff telling us what to do and when. I want it to be about you and me, and we decide. I don't want to just show up. I don't want to, you know what I mean? So there's been this difference. There's been this shift while they've been apart. And they want the intimacy back. They fault themselves for not being more assertive about that, but you do kind of make a nice life. I mean, if they do show up, there's a lot of benefit in that for them. But they do want a voice, and they want the intimacy back. And they got really complacent and lazy, and they realize that. But at the same time, they also want more of a focus on you and them, not on them just kind of following you and your agenda and your family and your friends around. That's what it feels like they felt like. So on the one side, it's like, well, wow, Gemini's going places. I want to be a part of that. But then it's like, I don't want them to count me out. Like, oh, well, they'll just show up. I'll just tell them, you know, her or him where to meet us. And I don't know, there's some kind of preference like, okay, I want you to consult me. I want it to be about us. I don't want to be told, and I don't want to be expected of. I want us to decide together as we go, and then we'll take it from there. But I don't want any kind of end date or end result on the table right now. I just want to be around you, and I miss you, and I want to be back. That's what's going on. So they want to be with you, but they don't want the outside pressure of having to have a certain date where this is met, this goal is met, and then you do this, and then you do. They don't want that. if there is that, it's because you two decided together, but it's not because, well, I want to be married by a year and a half, or I want to, be moved in together in 6 months, or they don't want that. It's a fine line because it doesn't mean they're not devoted. They don't like the restriction or the have to, because they feel like, well, what about me? But to not rock the boat, they're like, okay, I'll just, and then that creates that divide and that lack of intimacy, and then the strife, and then the fade, and then all of a sudden we're not communicating, and someone's a nervous wreck because you're not engaged, you're not here when you're here, and that just caused somebody else to further retreat. It's very subtle. I mean, it's very nuanced here. It's very interesting. And at the same time, they're like, give me a chance. Like, this is going to take some time to heal this, but let me get my foot in the door and let it just be you and I. Which, I mean, that's okay, that's fair. But you might not, I mean, it's going to be up to you. Because it feels like they finally understand why they checked out, why they disengaged, why they kind of just, it kind of like that. So they understand it. But it's going to be up to you if you're going to want that. Because they're going to want you all to themselves, not because of control, but they feel like if this is going to work, it needs to be about you two only for a while. Okay, all right. What else for Gemini? Balancing the scales. Could be Libra, but that speaks to things not being very one-sided. So yeah, they took you for granted, but then in their mind they're like, yeah, but I didn't really feel like at some point it just got overwhelming, and it was just like, okay, yeah, I'll just do whatever in the name of being a good partner, a good significant other, but somewhere along the way we forgot about each other. It just became about relationship duties and goals and all that. All right, what else for Gemini? What else for Gemini? So this isn't someone that's coming back groveling so much. It's someone that's going, okay, just hear me out. Just hear me out. Let me just say my piece, and then you decide. Like, that's what this is about. Because they feel like they're pretty, like they've got it figured out. And I just want you to hear me out and let me explain a few things and just listen. Like, that's how it feels like. So they're not defensive, but they do have a pretty good understanding of what and why things happened the way they did. All right, what else for Gemini? Didn't I just say this was like Libra right here? Okay, same thing. So this could be, again, it's not that they're beseeching and they're so, obsequious and just like groveling and crawling. It's not that. It's someone going, look, I think I know where we went wrong. I think I know why I did what I did. I think this is what happened. And I think going forward, what do you think of this? It's kind of this, hey, look, I'm sorry this happened. I didn't realize it, but I think I know why. That's that type of thing. It's usually it's either black or white, right? Like someone's just like, well, screw that, or they're, I'm so sorry. But this one's like this one's in the middle, and it's a very interesting dynamic. You two are very good together, but you're like, I'm not slowing down, and they're like, okay, just hear me out though. I know you're not slowing down, but can it be about us for a while? can you take the dates off the calendar? Can we just you and me for a little bit? What else for Gemini? And this might speak to that too, kind of things being more balanced, and being more harmonious, like give and take, ebb and flow, instead of just really moving at a steady clip for goals and dates and this and that, like by this time this, and it's like, let's just kind of take it as it goes and decide as we get to it, and it's you and me first, Satisfaction, which the grapes, not sour grapes, sweet grapes. It could be about, this could be speaking to, okay, that kind of mindset that when this happens, then we'll feel like this. And it's like, no, that happens along the way. What do you think about us just setting small goals and then but the point is, this is someone that's got like a different way to try and be happy with you, or you to be happy with them. This is someone that's like, what we were doing before wasn't working. I think I know why. What do you think about this? Do you know what I mean? Okay, so they're offering like a solution, I guess. It's one of those, it's like, just hear me out. Let's just take our time and you and I reconnect first, and then we'll worry about all the dates and the family and the other and the this and the that. Let's just see where we're at, because somewhere along the way we lost that. Okay. All right. Did I do everything? I did not. Okay. But the nice thing is, though, too, they do want to be a better partner. They do want it to be about, because they take that seriously. When they say, okay, I want it to be about us, it's not like, look, I don't want to have to hear what your sister thinks of us, or what your brother, or this or that, or like, I just want it to be about us. That's not saying that they want you all to themselves, so they don't have to be accountable to friends and family for how they treat you or anything like that. This is someone that's just like, okay, I don't want this to be about other people's approval. I want it to be what you and I want to do, regardless of what my family or your family thinks we should do, or when. Like, I want it to be about what you and I decide, us, and I want to step up. So that means you got to listen to me first, and I got to listen to you before we listen to what everybody else thinks we should do. It feels like there's a lot of family involved here, like a lot of outside influence, or not in a bad way, but just like it's a very at times can be crowded relationship, with all the input and all the eyes watching, and the extended friendships and families and relationships and all that. All right, what else for Gemini? What else for Gemini? What else for Gemini? Panther spirit, reclaim your power. All right, so when you come from a dynamic like this, sometimes you kind of feel like on the outside you're going and doing and making things happen, and you're self-sufficient and you're solid, this, that. But on the inside you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a nag, or like I totally am having to manage everybody else's life but my own. And yeah, it looks like I'm all successful, but it's a burden, and I feel so lost, and like I don't have any time for myself, and it's this weight and this burden, and I do everything for everybody else. What about being able to take care of myself? And this is about not having to kind of hustle and bustle and scurry around, and because it's one thing to be very dynamic and to have a really rich and full life, awesome, but when you're chasing after it and you're scurrying, it can kind of start to derail and get overwhelming. So it's one thing to be there and want to do all the things, but it's another thing to forget yourself along the way, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're exhausted and burdened, and nothing is what you thought it would be because you've stopped enjoying it along the way, and it's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. It can get really overwhelming. So this is about reclaiming your power through balance. And even if you decide not to, there it is, reclaim balance. Even if you decide not to reconcile or get back together, this is about you still realizing, okay, I don't have to meet all these goals and have all this in place and do whatever, because that leads to this 10 of Wands right here, and things getting overwhelming, instead of being like, you know what, I'm going to decide as I go what's best for me along the way and do what's best for me. That's a process, especially if you have a lot of friends and family and involvement and responsibility and all that, and you feel that sense of responsibility. But this is about balancing things out and starting to get back in your own power, recenter and ground, and take back control of your life, balance. And it's great to have people that support you and are able to provide input, but suggestions are not obligations. So the whole, well, I told you this or that, or I thought you were. It's like, yeah, but ultimately it has to be my decision. So back off. Can't say that because they mean well and the advice was solicited, but it's like there has to be a lessening of everybody gets a say about your life, and there has to be more of you deciding. And that might mean that you're not talking a whole lot to everybody, because when you do that, then other people think, well, I get to have an opinion, and what I would do is, and it's like, oh God, here we go. But this is about you, because you've got that, you do it anyway. Like there's no, what's the saying? There's no grass that grows under your feet or whatever. I mean, you're on your way and you keep busy, and you've got a very active life. So it's not that you're going to be without things to do or friends or anything like that. You make things happen for yourself. I think what this is saying, though, is consider what and why along the way, instead of just doing because that's what you've always done and I got to meet this person here and I don't want to let them down. It's okay to slow down, because everybody's an adult now and they can do that for themselves perhaps. And then you can take some time for yourself. You know what I mean? So that's for you. But as far as getting back with this relationship, either with this person or without this person, this also, the undercurrent here is about you balancing your life out and not having to be so busy. It could be that you've got, 2 jobs and school and some kids and whatnot, but, and that is a full load. But this is calling for more balance and for more you focus and being able to take care of yourself while having to meet your obligations. And consider that obligations, like kids and work and all that. And then there's other things that might have to fall by the wayside. Like maybe you can't do everything for your extended family, or somebody's going to have to pick up the slack because you've got your own obligations here, your little nucleus here that you got to take care of. So it's like, okay, there's one thing with the reconciliation that needs to get balanced out. This person wants to step up, but they also don't want to have to be doing for everybody else. They just want it to be about you and them for a while. And then there's with you needing, with or without this person, for a much more you-focused approach to where you're not so overwhelmed all the time. All right. Oh, I got to get to the dice. I forgot the dice. Okay, all right. Oh. Whew, this is loaded. All right. You got just about every sign represented here. Libra, Virgo, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio. What else for Gemini? You just got a lot going on. You need to be able to set some of it down. Other people can chip in. What else for Gemini? 8 of Cups. Ace of Swords. Moment of truth. This right here. Can you see that? Oh, it's right there. Breaking point, turning point, realization. Like, okay, I've got to walk away from a few things. I just can't do this anymore. Realizing that even with or without this person, I need to be able to set a few things down. I just don't. I can't do it all. The kids and work come first, or the kids and family come first, or you have to decide what's going to take precedent. But as far as this person, I think the reason why they want the reconciliation is because they've had a paradigm shift. Like they've realized, okay, yeah, I did this and I think I know why. And now that I realize that, we can have truthful conversations and we can figure out a way. Because I want to try again now that I understand why I did what I did. I want to try again. I want to be that person that I should have been all along, and I think I know why I stopped wanting to do that. Hear me out. You know what I mean? Okay, awesome. 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. I hope this was helpful. I know I rambled. I hope it works out for you. I hope you two are able to, over time, really get that intimacy and connection back, because this can be a pretty dynamic connection. You two are really good together when you're both focused on the relationship and you each other first, very dynamic. Okay. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care, Gemini.